Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the grand final of the GG.Bet New York Invitational. We have got forZe here taking on OpTic, and while forZe are no stranger to the grand finals of the Invitationals, we have got OpTic for the first time in the Invitational finals, and hopefully things have cooled down over at the OpTic camp.
Yeah, especially at Mazel's house. I think he ended up driving over to his brother's house and is playing from there. I'd assume he might have actually gone back by now because we had a bit of an extended break. Who knows? But nonetheless, he's going to be on the server. Yeah, and that's obviously an important part for OpTic to make things work. Had a bit of a scare, obviously, with everything that happened over on Dust 2 versus Big in their semifinals that we just saw. But they managed to scrape it together in the end and get the OT. So it's a 2-0 victory, and we're getting right back into the action.
Straight away into the pistol, Almaze are taking a kill. Split able to find one as well alongside Z-Power, but they come back and forth here, and it's Tessis that will make it happen for OpTic. It's into a 2v2 as they try to get towards the vents. Jerry picks off a headshot.
A big one at that. Bomb drops down with MSL, so he does have that under control, but right now you could play so much off of just sound cues and whatnot because you know everything's on MSL to make a move. forZe don't really need to actually stray off too far. Well, that's what they're doing as well, just waiting around. So MSL's going to get the bomb plan. That's something for OpTic here. See what it comes down to, though.
Door swung wide open. MSL looking to get it off to a fiery start, and he will get finished off by FaZeCrack, and will be the pistol pickup for forZe. And yeah, that was pretty chaotic. We're right into it.
Yeah, very much so. And I guess they kind of skipped past the entire veto stage, but as you can see, the top right corner, Nuke is the first map that's been picked by OpTic. Mirage is going to be the follow-up. That's the map pick of forZe, and if it all comes down to a third, Overpass is where we're headed.
Pretty goddamn good veto for forZe.
Yeah, I was about to say, usually if you're playing OpTic, we talked about this in the semifinals versus Big, the fact that you have to pick between two, I guess, well, you have to choose the lesser evil of either Nuke and Vertigo, as it looks right now. And for forZe, they play a ton of Nuke, so they're completely fine with it. You saw that in their first semifinals versus Windstrike.
And you don't really want to play against OpTic on Vertigo after their showing earlier, right?
Exactly. So for this, I mean, as bad as it could have been for forZe, this feels pretty comfortable, I would imagine.
Yeah. Oh, gets his head domed by Nico as Config will get the follow-up. Looking solid here for OpTic, and well, this is always the problem though. If you win the pistol, you've still got to go up against a buy like this, and it's somewhat harder.
Yeah, and again, this is one of the reasons why I'm not a massive fan of the economy changes the way they've been made. I think there's way too much opportunity for the T's with how cheap it is to buy up your weaponry. This happens far too often, and it has far too high success rate because you remove pretty much the entirety of the upside of winning a pistol because it's so hard to, as you said, win the second round against these kind of buys, and it is a massive issue for the CT side in these kind of scenarios, to the point where it's better for you to actually lose out the pistol and just go into a normal third round buy or fourth round buy, depending on how you want to play it out.
It's definitely changed the way the game is played, and you know, better or for worse, when the bomb plant is coming through. It's MSL punching in the digits, but here comes a Molotov. Right in front of him, it will be Almaze dropping Config. MSL get domed as well by Almaze, who pulls it back into a 3v3. So we're even once again, as Nico is off towards the ramp with his teammate, as Tessis is desperately trying to stay alive, but the fire comes in, and Almaze's got himself a triple on the MP9. That's money in the bank, if nothing else, as OpTic want to get this done. The defuse coming through, Nico peeks through, but it's not enough. The defuse is about to come in, and csgo can't line it up. It flipped with the double. forZe, it's 2-0.
Man, Almaze finding everyone who didn't have head Kevlar initially. That's a big get for him, and the follow-up is obviously fantastic as well. Config down first, and then MSL with no armors, an easy pickup. Great utility usage from forZe in that situation to be able to handle that retake. Odds from GG.Bet favoring forZe as well on their map pick. Pretty significant gap, honestly, considering how renowned OpTic are for playing this map, too. Z-Power with the op's gonna miss the first attempt. Doesn't miss the second chance, though. Swinging back in for more and more, and OpTic happily giving them the opportunity, even though they have found some significant damage. Make that actually even more. Almazer goes down.
Z-Power. He's going to be a big talking point for this team. 3 kills already to his name in this round. It will be FaceCrack dropping config. GG.B, the last remaining player, on his own in a 1v3, does damage, and that's the kill.
This is becoming very expensive for forZe.
Yeah, especially since Z-Power is so low.
Yeah, it has to be a lot on Flit. And he does handle business accordingly. Actually swaps out the SG for an AK. So has his preference.
Yeah. Something forZe, which is a really positive sign here, is they've got off to a good start on the CT side.
Yeah.
And what we've seen earlier was they love the T side a lot more. That's where they do most of their damage.
Yeah, they had a surprisingly more difficulties dealing with Windstrike on Nuke than I expected. Obviously, once we got to Overpass, they didn't really seem to be bothered at all, but it was a bit labored. But as you said, CT side didn't really go as planned, and now already 3 rounds to their name. And we've seen a lot of different, or gotten a lot of different looks on how Nuke is played on the T side the last couple of days, and OpTic definitely going with a more standardized approach. Smoke wall down, and into secret we go. Himself gonna swing out through. Jerry comes back to net himself a kill. He's actually gonna follow that up with the second one onto Nico. Tess is a little bit late to get the trade just now, and by the time he does, everyone else is dead.
Well,
Power's so fast.
Yeah,
I love watching him play.
I really am looking forward to seeing him, and eventually they will get to a big event, and they might do it here at New York. Like you said at the beginning of this tournament, they will continue that visa process, right? Trying to apply for the States, and well, obviously they didn't get there for Chicago, but they could definitely make it here for New York.
They've got time.
Yeah, they do have time. A lot of time. It's in September, right? So they have quite a bit of time to go. Chicago Invitational is pretty close to the actual event itself.
But, now, the only thing stopping them is
OpTic.
Themselves and OpTic. Yeah. Z-Power getting aggressive again, and misses the first opportunity. He needs to get out of dodge, finds some cell, but that's a quick return from Cajun. He's going to find the second one as well, but Jerry, forZe are so good at playing off each other. When one falls, another one pops up. Oh, Jerry caught on the edge of the smoke by config, but still very doable. Double rotation from forZe through lower. This might not be something OpTic expect. Bomb dropped. Flint is hearing all these footsteps from config. He's picked up an op. That might be something he doesn't expect.
Yeah.
He's actually going to fall back. He thinks config has moved around.
Well, config is starting to move forward. He had a bit of a quieter end to Dust 2 earlier.
Definitely did. But gotten off to at least an okay start here so far, getting frags on the board, but needs to find one more to get the Danes at least running.
He's looking the right way at the minute, but he looks back.
He's
got Flit is coming in from behind.
So many angles to keep track of right now, and it's Flit really in the driving seat here because time's starting to run down as well. He has an idea.
Config.
That is ice cold.
Yeah, that is very well played. They kind of slowly but surely go in behind each other.
Yeah.
Flit comes around in the back. Config is aware that that's a possibility. Moves forward, sort of limits the positions he could be playing from. Hangs around a little bit and pays off for him. Flit gets dropped, and the first on the board for OpTic.
That it is. A little bit of an unlikely one as well. Jerry finding a favorable trade initially, then getting caught on the edge of the smoke. That's what turns it. And so much damage being done on the initial rounds. forZe can't actually get a proper rebuy into this one. MP9, Deagle, ZZs, and Scout. That's all they have to fend with. OpTic in a good position to pick up 2 in a row here.
This is the scary thing that forZe have in their back pocket, is their ability to win these kinds of runs where they really shouldn't have a right in doing so. And we've seen that earlier. We actually seen it against Windstrike a lot. So OpTic need to realize it's not a done deal here. They still have a potent buy coming up against them, even though it's a half buy.
Yeah.
to try and source that info as the flash coming in. The utility is there as well. Jerry will sit in the back of the A bomb site waiting for them to come in towards him, and will test this. Great headshot. He'll look towards heaven as well to spot Z-Power, and while the Molotov comes in and forces him away with the bomb plant coming in. That should be one on the board for OpTic, and at this point forZe can set up for a couple of exits.
Yeah. You might see Flit and FaceCrack decide to get further removed from the action just to hold on to the Kevlar into the next round. Whereas Almazar doesn't really stand too much to lose from sticking around. Nice boost there over the vents for Nika to find Z-Power. So no scout being carried over. FaceCrack. Oh, hoping that last bullet's going to do him good. It doesn't. So no light Kevlar for him either. That should be the extent of the damage though. And Monster's actually going to run in, and as a result of it, Flit picks up 1 kill. He's looking to see if he can pick up another weapon.
Is that another CZ? I think so.
Oh. Flit was trying to go for the maximum play there and picking up an AK at the very end, but Testis covers the fallen weapon. And so OpTic make it to 2. The buy still comes in from forZe here though. Op in hands of Z-Power. That sets you up pretty nicely already. The utility is going to be a bit of an issue here, though, so we'll see if OpTic decides to slow it down to basically make them use their utility earlier, or if it's actually going to go right away because they know there can't be too much Molotovs. Might be the latter.
Oh, that's a great kill. Z-Power coming in, though, opening things up as Almazar will hold the back of the bomb site. He's got Tessis. FaceCrack will stay up in the rafters. He's got the backup of his teammate if needed as well, and they're working in tandem to shut this OpTic side down as they come in towards the A bomb site. FaceCrack can't quite get a bearings of where GG.B is playing from, but eventually they will drop him. And there it is, 5-2 coming through for forZe. So they do lose one. Straight away, though, they answer back with a win.
Yeah, and having 4 players stay alive as well. That's the big part. So everybody gets to either hold on to the weapons that they brought into the previous round, or actually get an upgrade. Jerry has gone from a FAMAS to Silence Colt. Almazar and Flit deciding to stick with SMGs. Well, Almazar buys up an SMG. Flit decides to hold on to his UMP. So yet another buy-in for OpTic. Z-Power's waiting for this. And these two teams have played each other before. I was in the Chicago Invitational in the semifinals, and that was a close affair from start to finish. 16-14 on Mirage, which is going to be the second map, and 19-15 on Train, which is OpTic's map pick. And this time, forZe, as you can see in the top right corner, they've decided to veto Train, so we're not going to see a return of that. Flash was meant for Jerry to peek out from Secret. That's not going to be the case anymore. He gets Molotov'd off. He's going to hear that. MSL taking a little bit of damage. And he's not going to connect.
Well, Jerry comes back towards stairs.
FaceCrack's rotated through vents as well, so they have a crossfire setup here, potentially.
Molotov will go towards Jerry. He's going to be forced away towards the control room, so it falls on a FaceCrack to get some damage done here as they start to come in towards his position. He'll fall back and play more passively inside of the B bomb site. Well, there is 30 seconds left at this point. Config has been shot up to 23. And FaceCrack, he's opened that door. Plays coming in towards the A bomb site though, but FaceCrack and Almazar have got the kills. They're getting kills all over the place here for forZe. GG.B will finally step up with 2. Bomb plant attempting to come through, but Tessis has just been spammed. It's going to be Flit through the wall, dropping Tessis, and the last player is low as well. GG.B going for the plant. There's just enough time for it, but he will be dropped through the wall as well, and that is just brutal.
Oh man, Flit finding all the connections really onto Tessis through the wall there. Cajun nearly brought it back into salvageable position with finding a double kill on the upper bomb site. Full-on chaos. OpTic realizing that they wouldn't be able to get control over the lower bomb site with how the setup from forZe came in. The smoke from Jerry to close them off initially once the Molotov went out. FaceCrack already being over, well, deep into the lower bomb site. So the rotation that they make is smart, but forZe not over-rotating. They've already gotten Z-Power downstairs to provide some cover fire, so Flit and Almazar on the top side. That's all they needed.
Well, Z-Power sitting back with the AWP towards credit card, and we'll start to spam through the smoke. And, well, they have started the crossover. A few players already in behind the red box. They're going to go for the boost over the top, and this is MSL on the AWP. Let's see if he can pick off Z-Power. And yeah, he may not win in an opening battle, but he will be able to take him down with a little bit of innovation. Config able to follow up, and there's an extensive frag for OpTic, as they're currently in the driver's seat with the man advantage. Flick close by. Smoke is covering off his vision. The players are going up above him.
They have to be aware of that Heaven is open for the time being. Hopefully that's communicated from Flit. You can see Almazr is actually making a rotation in towards Heaven. The timing.
Oh, it's got a name in his hand. He looks towards the bottom of the ladder, and Config will take those every single day of the week. OpTic, a 4v1 here with FaZe in a very, very difficult position. I do not envy it.
It's going to get spotted by Config as he moves forward as well.
Yeah. Easy as can be for Config there towards Heaven. That's the problem with Flit, just rotating off. You know, there is a blind side there.
Yeah. I'm a little bit surprised that Almazr wasn't more aware of that being a possibility, though. You could give up main, considering you have FaZe posted up towards Vent. He's not really going to be in danger from Hut anymore because there's no window there, and could have gone from there, but OpTic bring one back, and the buy coming in on the side of forZe is not the greatest. Very little utility, but they do have the AWP on Z-Power, and usually that might be all you need.
I like the fact that MSL is using teammates to get into a better position.
Yeah,
that's really how he beats Z-Power in that opening battle, because he has a little bit of innovation. He goes over the top of the smoke. It's an off angle. Z-Power's not going to be ready for that.
Absolutely. I think if you go head to head, MSL versus Z-Power's going to win that out more often than not, just due to his insanely quick reactions.
So MSL's best asset is his brain.
Absolutely, and he's utilizing it. It's good to see, and so far it's been rather quiet opening here to the round. Nico, the only one really taking damage. Stumped 38. Timing from Jerry nearly works out, but he's still getting it for one.
He lines up more as well with FaZe on the 5-7. He's got Tessus. He pulls out the 8K. There's another one, and this might be more as FaZe gets 3. It's on MSL. Z-Power wins that battle, and there it is. Another on the board for forZe, and that just came out of nowhere.
What a hero FaZe is in that situation. Jerry does significant damage on the 2 players, in addition to the frag he gets, and that's what gives him a chance at it. That's some excellent shots being nailed, especially the last one. The AK connection there from a cornered position. The first, the low HP player goes down, but that third one, super, super important. And obviously MSL not really within a chance of looking around too much as Z-Power comes up through vents.
How many plays have we seen just coming off the back of a 5-7 in this tournament?
Yeah, it's been quite a few, hasn't it?
Ooh, that is such a nice shot from Z-Power. Spots the head of Config on top of the silo and drops him off it. Man advantage again available to forZe.
And one of the things that will be possible to abuse for forZe here on the CT side is that OpTic's default setup is pretty much run the same way the entirety of the time. Config will be on top of silo more often than not. And we've seen some aggressive setups where Jerry curves up behind that or curls up behind smokes outside in yard to simply get a deep angle on silo. And that can be an easy kill for you where you sneak out afterwards and get back into main with a man advantage. Boost up from Flit could be extremely potent here in this situation. If it goes unchecked.
He run past him though, he gets 1 kill, he's still alive, he gets a second. So really, really good stuff there from Flit. He maximizes that situation.
Job done.
Yeah, and FaZe gonna hold off. There's another with the UMP. The bomb slowly rolls down the ramp and Nico will try to pick it up.
Let's see if he can actually get a bomb plant in here. He's gonna try to plant in the smoke, and he spotted as he moves a little bit out to see if he can find anyone wearing in from ramp, but that's not gonna happen. Upgrade for Almazr as well, goes from a FAMAS to an SG. And forZe 8 rounds early on here on the CT side. You said it, they haven't necessarily shown their best side in CT sides of Nuke so far in this tournament, but that's a pretty scary notion considering what they've been able to do on their T side, and they're already 8 rounds up here, or up to 8 rounds.
Not a positive sign for OpTic though.
Not ideal.
Definitely not what they would want.
And then you look at the buy they come into this round with as well. It's not the greatest. forZe have been able to do quite a bit of work with next to nothing. Let's see if OpTic can replicate that kind of form. MSL on top of silo.
Ooh.
Jay's given an opportunity, but not able to connect.
Z-Power. He's done this a few times.
He knows what to expect. Heard the scout shot being rattled from Config as well. Spots ahead. Misses the shot.
zPower gonna throw himself a flash to the stairs as Jerry and Almazer, who find themselves kills in tandem. And it's just an easy day here for forZe as they start tapping people away. Almazer will get another. That's the bomb in the open, and Jerry knows there's a player up on top. He knows where the last player's location is. MSL not long for the world, or should not be long for the world, but see what he can do with the Deagle. He will do some damage onto the legs of Jerry. Connected a few shots, but none are lethal. And Almazer will get themselves a 9th here on the board. forZe off to a very hot start in the grand final.
Yeah, and they've been looking so good throughout all of these invitationals that I think we both had pegged us the favorite actually going into this, and even Chicago.
Hugo didn't know.
He didn't know. He was expecting Avangard to actually top forZe, and he laughed at us when we said forZe are going to dominate them.
I think he's well and truly on the forZe train now, though.
Yeah, I think most people who get to see them play actually are. It's been good fun, and especially because, again, it's not gimmicky CS, it's not complete luck that they're getting into these situations time and time again. We're playing, as you said, really good Counter-Strike.
zPower is probably one of the fastest AWPers we have at the minute.
Yeah, he's been absolutely wild. I was really hoping that they would get their visas to Chicago, because the show match that was planned was meant to have a bunch of talents on the side of Anders, because he was going up against, obviously, the North American squad of Moses, and he wanted to pick a bunch of unheard, unknown talents that could just destroy the dreams of Jason.
zPower would have been one of those.
Exactly.
He would have toppled the bald eagle.
Yeah, Anders came to me for a list of talented young players that we could see do something with it, and zPower was definitely on that list. Fortunately, that didn't pan out, but again, sitting pretty in terms of actually making a spot for themselves at New York. Face crack and Flit finds 2. Man advantage going into the after plant. Positions have been found for OpTic, though.
Well, last man standing, young Tessus. And he's got the first and the second coming in as well. He's looking for the triple, and that is disgusting. Tessus with a triple kill. It's 9-4 in OpTic. Well, they're not done yet in the first half.
They really aren't. Tessus. Last bullet as well to connect on the head. That is as close as you can get. You can see 11 bullets right there. 5 to go, 4, and bam.
Well, I actually really like this Tessus player. He's shown me some good things here, and
he's gotten gradually better and better as well, because we've seen OpTic in a fair few of these invitationals as well, and it has at times been hit and miss, as you would expect with inexperienced players, but in this invitational, he's been delivering all the way through.
And I think it's just him getting more comfortable playing with these caliber of players.
Oh, of course, and it is a very different game entirely to have to go from, if it's tier 3 or face it pugs and what have you, to actually playing against structured opponents who know what they're doing or setting each other up.
Yeah, and also being in a team with these guys as well. You're going to feel a little bit of pressure. Like, you have to prove that you're worth this opportunity. But zPower, difficult shot to hit at times. He will not land enough to get the kill, so he'll have to fall away on 50 HP.
Still playing that headshot angle, so he's not really, I guess, at extended risk. Still would have been, doesn't really matter if he has 100 or 2 HP in that kind of scenario. MSL's going to back off. Flit have decided to move aggressively here on ramp. There's a couple of people waiting behind the smoke. And MSL decided to just clear out Secret entirely. So far, no information really gained for forZe, and that's a potential issue. Main could be a bit of a nuisance. Face crack's so open, and he's going to die for it as well. Mazur not having his back covered.
Multi-kill for Jerry coming in. The bomb again rolls to his feet, but Nico will step in. Config will fall though, and Nico has to do it all. 30 seconds. He's got 2 kills to his name, and zPower, his last known location was on that B bomb site. But where can he be? He's elusive, as Nico needs to find him. He will sit towards the back of the bomb site. zPower on the AWP has to retake this site. He's been so quiet. Nico not really being quiet at all. He's jumping around, he's throwing utility.
zPower has hit these shots on the jump before. We've seen that.
This is scary times for Nico. There it is. Jaws music ensues.
Quick.
And zPower so quick, hits the headshot. It's double figures for forZe. And that's something, again, that they have in their locker, is the fact that they lose the round, but they can answer right back.
Yeah, even if they don't have the greatest of buys, they swing back and it hits OpTic hard. Them securing 10 rounds already. We're feeling really, really good about that. And look at how evenly spread it is as well around the side of forZe. entirety of the team separated by only 3 frags. So almazr doing a hefty amount of damage with 7 assists as well.
Yeah.
A little bit more top-heavy over on the side of OpTic. Testis at 14, and he also had that brilliant 1v3 clutch.
That's also another talking point, is the rounds that OpTic have won have been clutches as well,
Yeah.
quite a few of them, so.
Hasn't been easy for them. Face crack smokes off a little bit awkwardly, so he's not going to be able to use that auto shoddy to its full effect just yet, but luckily for him, no rush coming in from OpTic. So almazr trying to sell the illusion that whoever's playing ramp is playing far back, actually going to re-smoke as well. So they might go in for a bit of a rough surprise if they move in there, but it seems like the majority of OpTic are actually moving down towards secret again.
KGB buying his time, he will get the kill onto almazr. And it will be the man advantage here for OpTic. And MSL is going to open the door, swing it wide. With 1 minute and 5 seconds left, it's the advantage for the Danes as the bomb's getting planted on the B bomb site. Last round of the half, forZe will have to go for this. So I'm going to see this retake attempt come in. We'll see how successful it is. As Molotov goes towards Vent, that'll cut off that rotation point for the meantime.
Really taking their time here to set up this retake.
We've seen this a few times where teams want to gather up and go through secret stairs, and it does cost them a lot of time. And it's sometimes not really that successful, but there's Nico with 1. Jerry able to trade back, but Testis has just filled his position. And well, this should be an OpTic 1 to 9.
Yeah, Flit's able to find Testis in the end, but plenty of OpTic players to go around. Their config stays true inside events. Also bumps them up to double figures. So 10 to 5. I think forZe are going to be happy with how that turned out eventually. Again, considering their woes on the CT side earlier.
I think they definitely will be happy with walking away with 5, considering it certainly could have been 12-3 if they had lost some of the clutches.
Yeah, no, absolutely so. Understandably, GG.Bet still favoring forZe here at 1.42 odds to the 2.47 of OpTic. almazr just gotten a bit of a love tap in spawn. It's not intentional, obviously, but nonetheless, here they go.
It's the motivation to not get shot, but Flit, he will take the hit for his team. He is gone, he's out of there, and the rest of forZe will have to try and find an access point. It's almazr stepping up with a headshot. Yes, he may have taken initial damage, but he gives some back. GG.Bet will be the man to fall victim. And they're on towards the A bomb site here. forZe as Config will step in with a great headshot, looking for a follow-up, and he's got that. A third coming in from Config, going for the quad kill. He's just landing everything, and the bomb's on the floor. 15 HP left on Facecrack, and well, it's just going to be so difficult. MSL swarms him. It's 10-6. OpTic needed that pistol, and well, they've got it.
Yeah, great work from Config and for having a slow Dust 2 game in the backpack before coming into the finals. He's definitely making up for it right now. Should be equal to Testis actually now in the frag count, or at the very least 1 off. So much more production out of the star player on OpTic's side. 13-1 and 12. It's looking to expand as well, as we have not a force buy coming in from the side of forZe.
Yeah, no force to be seen here.
Flit actually misses the jump down from silo onto main. He's going to take significant drop damage of that.
Ooh, KGB will take away on the though, and there's the follow-up. Should we? I'm pretty confident saying this will be an OpTic win.
Yeah, no, I think you're fair in that. MSL's going to charge up, seeing if he can get some extra money with that UMP, and he does so as well. Config also chimes in. So, flawless round for OpTic. Then again, to be expected, considering forZe didn't invest anything at all. They want to look forward to this round. They've gotten an op on Z-Power, they've got SG on Jerry, and a little bit of utility to boot. See if they decide to go slow, seeing how there's no Kevlar in Z-Power, so rushing, upper site might be a little bit dicey, but...
I mean, it is forZe, so...
Yeah, they've been definitely prone to surprise and, on multiple occasions. Might just blow up the door and have Z-Power peek for main.
Yeah, he's really got the lineup down here, so chance here to pick up the kill, but Nico, drive-by shooting with a FAMAS, and lack of Kevlar really comes back to bite him there.
Just immediately removed. Yeah, if he had Kevlar in that scenario, he would have been good to at least
Probably
fire off
the
a shot. Yep. Surviving on 12-ish HP. Will be a return. Config getting a little bit eager in front of Squeaky. They managed to do so without taking too significant amount of damage. Flit down to 59 now. It's been a little bit weary. Actually, Jerry's going to follow up for a second one.
They've just stood at the door and just shot. magazine after magazine.
Yeah, I think it's eventually OpTic just assume that they will back off from it. But no, not to be the case.
Unfortunately, that's not the case at all. But FizzCrack, 1 bullet, 1 kill. MSL, his head's gone, and here comes the push. CajunB, he will get rid of Flit. Look, oh, looks back up towards heaven, and FizzCrack's dealt with. Jerry will answer back for 1, so CajunB has to do it all. It has to be a 1v2 quad kill clutch. As Jerry stands on the spot, Almirza will be off towards Hut. So if he commits to 1 player,
this is smart.
oh, this is the best avenue. This is the best way to play this. He goes over the top. There's the kill on Almirza. He turns it into a 1v1, and he wins it against Jerry. What a play from CajunB. It's the experience that really comes through there.
That was pretty much the only way he could have won that round. If he swings wide enough to actually find, I guess, the normal angle on Almirza, that means he's wide enough for Jerry to actually get a pretty easy trade kill in that scenario. And that's why forZe are using the setup they do.
Yeah, this headshot.
One, yeah.
Oh. Boom.
And that's fortunate as well. FaceCrack was at 84 HP, so it's just below that threshold where you can get 1 tapped. Makes all the difference.
Yeah, I was just about to say, in that clutch, CajunB, if he commits to 1 player, he's almost certainly dead. But
yeah,
that's the only way, literally the only way he wins that.
Experience shining through, providing to be a valuable asset for this OpTic team as they try to make their way to New York.
Maybe it'd also be nice to see this team back at the big stage as well. Feels like we haven't really seen that in a while.
Very true. 2 players are going to make it through. Z-Power actually going to run straight through the Molotov. He wants to be a part of the gang.
Oh, Jerry actually does damage there as well. Not quite spotting anybody, but he does
Creates some
connect damage.
confusion.
Yeah. Oh, FizzCrack just drive by straight through the control room. Tessus, well, he's gone, and well, forZe, they can win these rounds, so OpTic need to be careful.
Yeah, Tessus was the 1 player without head armor. That was fortunate for the MAC-10 to find that one. Bomb has gone down, so already this is a win in the books of forZe. See how much damage they can actually do. They're tucked away in pretty decent positions. Jerry's still lurking about out here. Puts the config down to 10. That means Nico's under pressure as well.
He has to perform against Jerry. Oh my god.
Down to 20. This is still very doable.
Yeah, Flit especially has a rifle and 100 HP. Flying comes in from Z-Power, that's the double! And that is ridiculous as Flit finishes it off. It's 11-8, and again, forZe have done it. They've won off the back of a buy that really you should never see win.
Yeah, MAC-10, couple of pistols. It's really unfortunate for OpTic that the first player who gets to run into the rushing squad of the Russians is the 1 player without head Kevlar. Yeah. See, Tessus just heads gets thrown back. The first connection made with the MAC-10, no real chance of actually responding to it. Sets everything off kilter, and Jerry as well, buying so much time, being all over the map. He said it at the start, just running through the smoke and Squeaky, firing off a couple of shots. That delays the rotation. Then he swings back in through main once he's wrapped around yard. Ooh, okay. In the open, not getting punished just yet.
Ooh.
Does some significant damage back to it, and as Hugo learned earlier today.
They're one and the same at this point.
Yeah. As Hugo learned earlier today, you can actually shoot through these giant containers.
Yeah. We kind of had this discussion earlier where we were like, yeah, tiny piece of wood? No.
Yeah.
Giant metal container? No problem.
Absolutely. Consistency is not really the thing when it comes to wall banks in CSGO.
And glass. That's another thing. This can stop a kill coming through MSL. He will not pick up the frag though.
Oh, missing the second as well.
Yeah, he got 2 opportunities, but he didn't take them.
Well, they know there's an op out and about, so they slow things down. They're actually going to rotate Z-Power back in towards main, and instead of actually having him challenge MSL. Smoke is dropped as well. Nico, can he get the drop on anyone? Ooh, that's a half-hearted clear from FaceCrack. No gun retrieve just yet, but Deagles seem to be doing just fine.
Well, here's config with the Deagle taking away Jerry. Flit and Z-Power left in a 2v5. And I mean, we did say forZe can answer back. OpTic seem to have been able to do it as well. 5 players still alive at this point. Z-Power's scurrying away back toward T-spawn because he wants to save that AWP. So 11-9. OpTic still fighting, not relenting. But they're under a lot of pressure here, Z-Power. He will take 1 kill on towards CajunB, but the rest are coming his way. Can't find the second, but there it is. Third. Keep coming. He wants all these kills. He wants you to force these rebuys. And coming again. He misses the shot, but still survives into the next one. 11-9. T-Money is not in a great position. But they can buy a couple of pistols around this AWP, and, well, Flit has quite a bit of cash, so he can go for an AK.
Yeah. They've done it before, they can do it again.
Oh, they've gone for the force. Oof, it's a good buy, actually. All things considered, because there was so much money on Flit.
Absolutely. So they look to strike back immediately, and if they were to do so, OpTic's response would be pretty damn tough. C-Power moving on into yard. We saw Searson do this for Sprout time and time again.
That was a bit crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah. Z-Power, I guess, falls into the same category. Waiting, and MSL might just run right into him. Easiest kill Z-Power's had all day. Look at the follow-up as well. Nico needs to reposition and gets caught out by Almazer, so now 3v5.
OpTic can't catch a break. CSgo spot face crack, and he will finish him off. Looking for the follow-up, and CSgo has been looking solid.
Really
He's only a stand-in, right? Because of refresh on holiday or something.
Yeah, apparently, yeah, that's what we've been told. Not necessarily confirmed source, but nonetheless, he's doing his damnedest to get not even his team to New York here. Almazer, perfect positioning. Config not expecting it, so even if he does look away for a small second, turns out to be just fine. 1v3, Tessis tucked away up on rafters. Could work out, at least could be good for a couple of kills here if they were to move into the inner bomb site, and that seems to be the case for forZe as well. We'll see if he goes unnoticed. No, he doesn't. Jerry, spider sense is tingling.
I mean, if you do it every run, then obviously forZe are aware of that. They love that setup, don't they?
We saw, I think it was B-Pro when they were playing against Sprout, pretty much run the same CT side setup for at least 13 of the rounds.
Yeah.
And eventually
like
Viltrex on top of Rafters
else.
was just, he was just getting pre-fired whenever there was an upper rush.
B-Pro just didn't really have a whole lot in their CT side, did they?
That's very true. forZe, they've managed to break the economy of OpTic. Now they just need to look out for the Danish Deegs.
Yeah, they're definitely potent. And it's going to be Z-Power doing the exact same thing. Walking across in the open towards Secret. This time he has Almazer close by. It will be one kill, but traded back by Nico. And Nico making great work of the soft metal, it seems. His face crack will get one back, but 2 kills have come through, so it's still a good chance for OpTic to make it better because the kills come in from CSgo. It's Z-Power on his own in a 1v3 clutch. And, well, they had to look out for the Danish Deegs, but they still can't do anything about it.
Jerry definitely fluffs that. And now he gets spotted out on top of Heaven. Cajun with third. He's really pushing this OpTic team forward.
Looking like a good grand final, at least the early signs of it. Back and forth we go. Force buy again for forZe, it seems. Well, you're going to leave a little bit of money in the bank on Flit.
Yeah, it seems like the deciding factor is whether or not Z-Power can get an AWP and feel comfortable about it, if they want to buy behind it or not.
Yep.
Which I guess is never really a bad plan considering how he's playing. But they have to feel a little bit dismayed by how they've dropped the ball in 2 different scenarios here. The Eagles of OpTic really coming in big.
There's CSgo getting 1 kill. Face crack in the MAC-10 though. That's a scary prospect. But CSgo, he is the gatekeeper on the A-bomb site. And he doesn't want anybody to come past. As Flit is on his own in a 1v4, P250. He's still got to deal with CSgo. And, well, he's got this kill.
Is he going to go for the knife to get extra money?
That would be ballsy. Nope, he goes for the headshot. He gets close. He tries to take the AK to MSL. I like the idea, but MSL is quick. 12 to 11. And again, CSgo being the MVP of OpTic.
He is quite the hero right now. He's completely taken over here on the CT side. Before we switched halves, it was Tessis and Config to really put up the big frags for OpTic, but the CT side has been all about Cajun, and not just simply because he's been racking up frags against ecos, but he's had some vital clutches. Now OpTic with an opportunity to finally get even. Would be the first time in quite some time. Early utility not really going to do a whole lot.
Yeah, OpTic used quite a bit there at the start of the round. They have got 2 nades still left.
Tessis is very isolated over at ramp here, so there's definitely an opportunity for forZe to basically use manpower to overwhelm him.
And they've shown that they love to do that. Certainly, that's certainly their playstyle. They go with strength in numbers.
How patient is Z-Power going to be? Or I guess the better question is, how patient is Nico going to be?
Well, Z-Power's come off the angle. Nico seems to just want to go for the passive play.
We'll see if there's a Molotov being thrown there eventually. Actually, that's the only Molotov they have is on Mazzer, and he's nowhere near. They do have eyes on it, at the very least.
FizzCrack, he does lose the fight to Nico, though. He might just double up, and there it is. Good stuff from Nico. Flit will get one back in forZe, but it's CajunB yet again, just being so consistent inside of the A-bomb site.
Yeah.
Another kill being added to his collection. The spam coming in.
Nico's on a tear.
Yep. Certainly looking strong as Flit is in a 1v4 situation. And he's gone. He's out of there. As CajunB will find another. It's 12-12, and they are even again.
Yeah, FaceCrack leaving a little bit to be desired on the initial peak there versus Nico. That sets everything out of control. Nico being allowed to get the double kill out in yard removes all the pressure points that forZe had. They could have otherwise been able to trap the player in towards main. That would have been Cajun. We could have had a very different round altogether, but now OpTic finally back in the driver's seat. forZe, they have to eco for now, and OpTic might be looking to take the lead.
Well, fast play coming in towards the rat room. It is going to be one kill for Tessus, but that is it. FizzCrack with the P250. There's too much to handle. Nico has rotated, and he looks very calm, cool and collected. He's ready for this. And the bomb plant is coming through. He'll let that slide, or will he? The door swings open. He takes the kill. The trade does come through by Jerry, but Config has come in towards the bomb site.
Oh, they don't know.
The boxes, and they have no idea he's here. This should be both kills. Just waiting to hear the bomb plant. Flit just walks back, and well, Config gets that info. He's going to use the trigger discipline. Flit turns around. He has to take the kill, and because there's a player hid behind the boxes, Config doesn't know he's there either.
Oh, Jerry knows now, though.
Oh, that was an opportunity. Unable to capitalize, but he goes back and hits the headshot. It's on CajunB. He's been Mr. Consistent, the hero of OpTic, but he has to do it again.
Well, plenty of time still to work with, so forZe can take this in any direction they want to. They were pretty split up. Still, nobody's attempted to go for the bomb. They don't have any utility either, so it's going to be a hard choice to figure out where they want to plant it.
Straight on default.
Oh, and FaceCrack rectifies his mistake from the previous round, and yeah, not again a buy you would expect forZe to win out on, but they do. So I guess in the end, it all evens out. OpTic with their deagle kills and so forth, and forZe with these crazy rushes with MAC-10s and whatnot.
CajunB's on 25 kills in team deaths. That is mental.
He had below double figures at the half.
Yeah, that is the CT side has just been stellar from CajunB. A little bit different seeing the squad being top heavy over on OpTic. Over on forZe is much more of an even playing field, but good damage done early from MSL, but he hasn't got the kill. He'll get a second chance and he'll take a Mazer away.
That was very hopeful.
Yeah, massively.
He could have just held back. When he crossed actually without dying, he could have ran back into radio room and not necessarily had to deal with that at all.
MSL's just chilling in the open, and he's got another kill for it.
I'm actually surprised they didn't try to flash in the Opper on that end. It said they want to take AK fights versus the Op on MSL.
Yeah.
Hasn't worked out, has it?
Not at all. Well, they still have Z-Power in play. It will be CajunB getting his head ripped off. FaceCrack's ready for it, but Config close by with the tuxedo. He will take away FaceCrack and go back for more, but Z-Power is there. He's got the shotgun on.
Config actually getting caught on the ledge, and that's going to be an easy kill for Z-Power.
Oh, he could be the next on the list here, MSL.
Is he expecting this? Not well enough, and nice.
Whew.
Follow up there from MSL. The in-game leader coming a big 4K for him.
Great hold.
Making the op work.
He kind of scared them off ramp.
Yeah.
Not coming here. MSL's here to play.
It's closed down. No longer Tessus. The inexperienced one, and great job from MSL from start to finish there.
Quite a proficient AWPer, MSL, which
he has had way more efficiency, or way higher efficiency than I would have imagined once it was announced that he would go back on the op. Obviously, they got rid of Yugi, who is a pretty damn proficient AWPer in himself, but with MSL, it seems like they've found more consistency, especially one of the things that he's been so damn good at is finding these opening kills in multiple rounds, whether it's T or CT side. And that does a lot for your team. It sets you off on a good foot every single time.
These Danish teams specifically OpTic and North.
Yeah.
They're kind of inbred in terms of all the players that just go in between them. I
Absolutely.
think you can see MSL and Nico have North shirts on in their pictures.
Yeah, and we know that Config's been in North and Cajun's been in... like everybody's been around in that Danish scene, but there's also a reason for it. While there's plenty of talent in Denmark, it's not like these players necessarily get that much worse. MSL might not be in position to deal with this. Flash comes in. FaceCrack's going to get the entry into the main, but gets dealt with. And MSL finally rid of the Flash. Actually wins out the duel versus Z-Power as well. And Cajun not willing to take a knife fight versus Jerry. So the eco for once not panning out for forZe. And they've only netted 3 rounds here on the T side.
And the pause is in. Hopefully all is good in MSL's place. Things are certainly heating up for OpTic though. 14-13, looking much better. CajunB's pretty much been the biggest part for that.
Yeah.
And I think you need to have a big CT performance against forZe. And it's good that CajunB has been able to sort of dispel them from the A bomb site. They've got onto the bomb site. All they need to do, the last person they need to take away is CajunB, and they've got the site, and you got the man advantage. But
just take away CajunB, right?
Easier said than done. Yeah, that is definitely the case here. Is CajunB has been on another level on that A bomb site. And while it might be OpTic hitting map points here, forZe have a buy to stop it. And Z-Power loves to do this. He loves to get up on top of this box to look over towards Garage. But OpTic have actually not been playing the all-butt side. They've been sort of playing more stacked towards inner. So Nico playing from afar, the SG, and oh my god! Z-Power reacts quick enough to land that headshot.
Bouncing bunny of Z-Power overwhelms Nico. Yeah, he was so well set up to actually deal with that from the ZywOo spot. forZe with a man advantage. Z-Power, even though he's down to 11 HP, can still do so much with that op in hand. Tess is tucked away under ladder here. Might be a bit of an unexpected position, but no. Almazer seems to be very, very ready for it. 2-man advantage once again. Cajun's still alive though, so the Clutch King is still breathing.
Well, that is going to be CajunB taking the kill on a FaceCrack. Who would have guessed that it would be CajunB to step up with first blood here over OpTic? 40 seconds. MSL rotates towards the vent. He's in a great position here. He should at least get 1 kill. There it is. Peeks through, might get the follow-up, but Z-Power too quick. Jerry will find the follow-up. It's on Config. Yeah. 1v3.
Cajun's dead. Might be what they needed. Slow HP, though, on 2 of the players, but Z-Power, as you said, he needs to be in the grave in order to not have impact, but the timing could be everything. Bomb will go down, and they have information of where Config last was seen. They're going to stack up together here.
Yeah, this will be difficult to deal with. They're both there. Config might not be able to react quick enough. He will start to go into control and smashes the windows. Nick goes in towards close. Flash is there as well. The doors swing wide open. The time is ticking. He's really desperate at this point. Because of that, Jerry will take him away. 14-14. It will not be OpTic's map point, but in fact, it will be 14-14, and we will again reach an even point.
Continue the fight. It was close games in the last bout in the semifinals of the Chicago Invitational. It was 16-14 on the first map. Might be heading a similar way in this one. And now there's also a different difficult decision to be made on the side of OpTic, right? You see Cajun sitting at 5.3, Config at 4K, but the rest of the players, Tessis, MSL, Nico, between 2.3 and 3.8K. So they might actually just have to bite the bitter pill and actually play for overtime. It's not what you want to do in this kind of a situation, but it might be their best shot at it.
Grand finals, forZe, Danish team, overtime. The 3 things that are pretty common here at the Invitationals.
It's been happening quite a lot. I guess to the plus side of OpTic here, they've had pretty decent success with limited buys. They're not even going to mess anything at all, really? I'm surprised by Cajun not actually going for a deagle of something. something of the sorts.
Just give him something.
But it might, I guess it might be the case of him dropping an op for MSL later on. They're still going to have utility to buy up.
Yeah. They also have the double op potential with GG.B, right? But something I have noticed, OpTic don't really want to go for that. They haven't really gone for it at all.
That's very true.
And it's definitely something that could be potent for them, because we know GG.B is an excellent AWPer himself. Molotov will go in towards Secret Stairs. FaZe wants to wrap around the back. Well, he's got teammates to back him up as they start to put pressure. It is going to be Nico, the first man falling to FaZe and Almazur. And it's now standing GG.B and Tessis. All the kills are coming in, and forZe make it look easy. It's going to be map points here on the map pick of OpTic. They're going to have to play for overtime. Not a single player from forZe falling now. And here it is, the last chance buy from OpTic.
Last chance saloon. We'll see what they make out of this. How it all pans out. forZe could sneak away with OpTic's map pick to start us off in this grand finals and get them that much closer to booking those New York tickets. MSL has the op, so it all pans out the way we expected. Still a lot of utility on OpTic too. CT side doing initial damage onto FaZe as he moves out behind T-Red.
He's behind it. Smokes can't come in. MSL has a decent angle to deal with this, but the smoke is good. That'll force MSL to go back towards C2 and call for rotation towards the B bomb site of one player. But forZe are ready to go through the door, and we've seen how much success they can have from here. But Config, he's close by the door. He's going to hide behind it, but the Molotov's hitting him. He knows this. He closes the door, but it's the Molotov that takes away Config. And it will be a man advantage for forZe to play with. I think Config actually took damage as well from the rifle that speeded up the process in the fire. It's kind of like adding fuel to the fire.
Quite literally. And that's exactly what OpTic hope to avoid. Very little damage taken on the side of forZe, and they've already gone a man down. MSL found a 4K earlier on. We'll see if he can make that happen again. Smoke's gonna miss. Right now, forZe biding their time, hoping to see some sort of rotation. Somebody on the OpTic side playing for information. That's not to be the case. They still have utility for an aggressive setup as well. Nico finally finds FaZe, and that's the green light for the upper bomb site.
Oh, look at that. GG.B lets two run past him, wants to see if there's more. He deals with it well, and the bomb's on the floor. Z-Power will drop towards the bottom of the vent, and there it is. It's overtime. We keep going forward, and it is a grand final. And we all hope for overtime coming through on map number 1. 29 kills on GG.B, 22 on MSL. Nico having a decent performance himself. But forZe, it's much more of a team effort, I would say, across the board. I mean, there's never really a massive disparity between the top and the bottom on this team. Everyone seems to be able and are capable of having big performances.
Absolutely so. And, I mean, one of the players that kind of salvaged the first half for OpTic, Tessis, he had a really, really slow CT side, but that's mainly down to the fact that we didn't see too much ramp pressure coming out on forZe. And one of the few times they actually went there, MSL grouped up a 4K to his own name.
Yeah.
But he ended, I think it was with 17 kills, and he had 14 at the half. But all works out when you have Cajun dropping over 20 frags in the CT side.
Yeah.
Now, going into this one, obviously, once we get into overtime territory, usually the case is that a lot of teams have expended whatever's in their playbook, and everything gets a little bit weird. So while we have seen better CT sides in this scenario than T sides, it could very easily swap on its head.
We'll see who gets the better start into overtime. forZe on that T side, they've got Z-Power on the AWP, who's been playing very confidently towards outside. As soon as MSL has sort of seen a weakness there, he put his AWP towards that side of the map as well, and they had to smoke it off. There'll be the outside execute coming right through from forZe, and they want to try and take the secret control early. There's a gap to play with here for MSL. One of the smokes has not landed just yet, and there it is. So again, that opportunity is gone. Flash comes in as well. They're dealing with him. They know that it's a possibility he's playing from there. He's done it a few times. And so forZe start to go back down towards the bomb site. They have one player rotated in here, and it's Nico.
Yeah, he's been efficient from this kind of spot previously. FaZe should be aware that this could be the case. He actually decides to take a wider angle, throws out a Molotov as well.
Yeah, that's a deep molly as well. They know where he's playing from.
That's that's an adjustment being made. They knew what to expect. The question is, oh, okay. I like the approach,
They're
actually.
really trying to neutralize this, aren't they?
Well, they have mission accomplished. Nico's out of the position. But the rotations have come in. Config's actually died to Jerry. Jerry's doing such a good job of being a nuisance as the late lurk.
Tessa's back at the bomb site. Headshot comes in towards Fierce Crack.
Oh,
Looking for the follow-up, but the nade
nade.
is in.
They know Nico's still down here. Question is if they're going to rotate up, because they have Jerry sitting inside the doors. Now they just need to deal with Cajun. Might be a bit of a understatement. Nice flash, first kill down. Just get tagged up and can't actually swing wider to the side because of the Molotov. It was only good for one. MSL has crept up close.
Oh!
They line up, but it's not enough damage.
Not enough at all, but MSL backs off, and because that C-Power's there, but the bomb, it's gone, and it doesn't really matter when Nico gets to... He's just annoying, really, Nico. they did everything they possibly could to get rid of him, and he's still alive and ruins them towards the end.
I guess they got him out of the position initially.
Yeah, that's not job done, though.
Really not. forZe being pressed for time there, having to run out of hut right into the waiting arms of Nico. And that secures OpTic the first round of overtime. Still going to be an expensive affair, though. Losing 4 players, forZe should be pretty well equipped to buy up for the better part of this. Nico doing some damage onto Z-Power. No, actually, no. Z-Power took nade damage. It's Jerry, I guess, in his usual spot in the lobby.
MSL.
Actually looking towards Yard.
He's played this angle every
so often,
but he played it the last 2 runs in a row. Both times he's been neutralized, so I want to see if to do the outside smoke and stop him again, or have a good flash by and he spots the arm but doesn't take the shot. So
gives the information to Nico, but that didn't help him.
He goes for his chance back over towards Secret Stairs. It doesn't really matter when Almeza and Fierce Crack are cutting through your team, and MSL is alone in a 1v5.
Left wondering as to what the hell happened. He saw an arm and all of a sudden his team was gone.
It's like, is anybody watching outside?
I told you he was coming main. Fine split, but that's all he finds. And the buy here for OpTic, it's not super. And this is because they lost 4 players in the first round. It's so important to have players stay alive. Once you win that first CT side round with 10K, MR3, Cajun's going to have a iffy buy, Config, and Nico to boot. And we've even lost Config.
We've lost Config and we lost Z-Power.
Oh. Well done.
Both players you do not want to lose.
That is very true.
Not a bit. I don't know. Obviously, I'll take your opinion on it, but I don't know if I'm a big fan of the way OpTic are playing towards outside. They're playing so passively. They're just giving all that control up immediately.
Oh, absolutely. That is very, very true.
And forZe have just abused that, really. They know, well, if we don't want to go towards Secret Stairs, it doesn't really matter because no one's playing Garage, so we don't even have to use any utility. We can just walk up, go through main, and...
It's been very weird because we've seen it from both sides, being perfectly happy of not necessarily challenging Yard all that often. I guess we've seen instances of Z-Power actually swinging up from Underpass and, well, Secret. But outside of that, there's rarely been too many just straight-up Yard holds. They have their reason for it, I suppose, and they did have strong CT sides on both ends. So the results are there. Just interesting to see what kind of approach both teams have on it. So we've gotten Config and Z-Power back on the server. Sadly for OpTic, they don't get any additional money from it. So as you see, 2 FAMASs, an auto shotgun, and what I assume is not going to be anything that much greater on Cajun, seeing as at 3.1. That is what OpTic have to go into this round with.
Not favorable at all, on paper at least. We'll see if they can pull off a miracle. But forZe, it should be theirs.
Yeah, we've said that before, though. We've said that many, many times before, and
I think that's the point where we have just started to use the word "should" a lot. OpTic. Yeah, to try and deal with Z-Power, and deal with Z-Power they will. MSL this time challenging the yard area, and he will be successful, but perhaps a little bit too greedy on that one. Extends too much, and Almiz will take him away. Trades coming through, good smokes. Well, good smoke. One of them's not great.
Still gets the job done, I suppose, for the time being. forZe, again, just establishing presence out in yard, not necessarily doing anything right off the bat with it. Tessa's last time he moved close to heaven, got found by Almazr, but doesn't seem to be what's about to occur as FaceCrack, he's moving up on heaven. And we saw a similar situation just when OpTic were the aggressors, where heaven didn't quite get kept tabs on. It becomes so difficult to deal with for a CT side once you lose basically the entryway to the site. They're going to flash in twice. And, well, it's one through main, and Jerry's actually going to dive into it. That did not pan out. Tessa's found Flit. Can't find more, and they know at least where Nico is. He's made it up the vents, and they have yet to spot Config. That's the big thing. Well, Mazer's getting all this information. He's going to hear Nico dropping down the vents at the very least. But again, it's if they expect Config to still be inside here. Going to plant rather safe, so he's got coverage. And forZe deal with that nicely. 17-6, so they do pick up a majority of the rounds here in the first overtime half. That's really all you can ask for, considering how regulation panned out.
Yeah. We'll see if they can get off to a start here in the CT side. We do talk about the T side being the more favored side, but what we see in regulation was they are very capable of playing the CT side, right?
Absolutely so.
So things are looking pretty up for forZe at the minute. You have to remember this is not their pick, and we have discussed at great length as to why this map veto is actually very favoursome towards forZe. You look across the three maps that are available, and well, forZe can play every one of them. They've got a pretty deep map pool for a team that haven't had that much experience on an international level, and it will be MSL this time. What a shot! He even lands it on the head just for some extra skill points. And that's Jerry out of there. And that's the man advantage for OpTic into a very important round. So let's see if OpTic can capitalize off of that early pick. Nico clearing towards the secret stairs. Tessa's making sure garage is empty. And forZe playing very passively inside of the inner bomb sites.
Yeah. Yet again, having control is up for grabs, and FaceCrack seems to be a little bit more aware of it this time. Obviously, a little bit open from main, but can deal with it as long as there's a smoke down.
Config. He's about to come through. FaceCrack is aware that this is a possibility, but his crosshair's not really in the right position.
Dragged it there, though.
He's definitely had time on the aim server. He flicks up, hits the headshot, and well, continuing forward with another one.
And just like that, forZe make it to map point. One round away from stealing OpTic's map pick here. First map of the grand finals of the GG.Bet New York Invitational. That would be quite the scalp to take as well. Now, OpTic needs to be perfect here on their T sides to hold off. And they couldn't convert even with an opening frag. And even significant damage done to Z-Power as well. So it's not going to get any easier.
Nade damage could come in towards MSL. He's done this a few times, but this time without an AWP. He's on an AK.
Z-Power expecting Config to be on top of Silo, which he was. Not gonna sway out into the angle. Smokes come out and they go back to their tried and true.
Well, that's a big gap.
Yeah. And there's no smoke on MSL. Normally you see that gap happening because whoever goes behind T-Red throws out a secondary smoke.
Yep.
It wasn't there anymore, and MSL's dead for it.
Well, Flit has to hold on as the push is coming in towards him. There's the burst. The second is available, but CajunB successful in picking that up with Config finding success towards outside as well as E-Power burns.
Falling apart.
It really has just crumbled beneath them. And we could have been over here. forZe have let go. They have to try and recover. Now, Mazer spots Config. He gets the kill, and it's a 2v2 with 40 seconds left. And they're going down ramp. Facecrack is ready for it.
Yeah, he is. And that's the first. Second player, it's Cajun on 24 HP. Not able to get the final connections there. Mazer, though, still in such a good spot to deal with this. Door's already open, and Cajun's also, well, visible from the backside of the silo. forZe running away with it there at the very end, stealing OpTic's map pick. That's quite the start to a grand finals.
Yeah, there it is. I mean, forZe, they're no stranger to the grand finals. They're no strangers to beating Danish teams in the grand finals either. And, well, they continue to do it here. And on Nuke, you know, a map where we sort of praise OpTic for being quite good on, it doesn't go their way.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't. And I guess, to be fair, we also talked about how forZe have no qualms about playing the map either. They've seen it multiple times throughout multiple invitationals. It was one of the maps that we actually started catching their eye, or they caught our eye, I should say, off of their brilliant performances. I think that was the mauling of Hellraisers that really put them on the map for us in the first invitational. So they continue their good form. Now that we go into Mirage, again, that was a close affair in the last bout that they had versus OpTic, but still, they have to be brimming with confidence after that one.
Exactly. forZe seem to be on another level. They want to sweep this tournament, but we're going to have to go to a short break. When we return, we'll see the second map of the grand final here.